Welcome to another edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up. During this program, we will highlight the agenda items presented to the Lakeville City Council at their May 4th, 2015 meeting. First highlighted item on the agenda is item number 7, resolution calling a public hearing on proposed assessments for improvements to Kensington Boulevard. And to provide the background information on this agenda item is Operation and Maintenance Engineer Monica Heil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The Kensington Boulevard Improvement Project, as you recall, includes that portion of Kensington Boulevard from 205th Street to a point just south of 210th Street where the County Road 70 improvements terminated a few years back. The council authorized the preparation of a feasibility report for this project back in December of 2014. This project was initially identified as a part of the city's pavement management program. The feasibility report was presented to the City Council at its February 17th meeting, after which we set a public hearing date for March 16th. At the public hearing for the project, there were no comments. The project was bid. We opened bids for the project on April 24th and computed the assessments. Street improvements include pavement reclamation along with spot curb and gutter replacement to address those failing or deficient concrete curb and gutter panels along the length of the project. The new pavement section will address some of the pavement tenting issues that are typical during the winter months. Streetlight replacement is also proposed within the business campus area. That is that area adjacent to the businesses, generally from the top of the hill leading back to 210th Street. The existing streetlights were salvaged and reinstalled from an old city improvement project, and they've met the end of their useful life, and so those are also proposed to be replaced as a part of the project. In addition, we are proposing to install cathodic protection along this segment of Kensington Boulevard. The area has no recorded water main breaks since installed in the mid-1990s. However, the soils were determined to be corrosive, and so we are recommending the installation of cathodic protection to extend the useful life of these existing utilities. The feasibility report estimated the project costs at about $998,000. The bid results that were received in April has a new project total of $1,041,000. The streetlight replacement estimate from Xcel Energy is included in that $1 million. It came in at $113,000 and is proposed to be funded using the streetlight operating fund, which was not identified in the feasibility report. And so when we look at the comparisons of the feasibility report estimate to the actual bid results, property taxes were estimated to fund about $713,000 with the feasibility report. Based on the bid results, it's decreased slightly to $700,000. Street and storm sewer assessments were originally estimated at $121,600. Those have also decreased slightly to about $120,700. The water operating funds have increased. When we initially put together the feasibility report estimate for the cathodic protection, we had some very general information about the soils in the area that gave us an estimate on the cost to install the cathodic protection. During the final design of the project, we sent the results of the corrosivity testing to corrosion engineers who were able to put a more firm number together for the cost to install cathodic protection along this particular segment of Kensington Boulevard. And so there was an increase in costs based on our actual findings of the soil conditions in those areas. That has led to an increase in the water operating funds that will be contributing to the project. And the streetlight operating fund, which was not originally identified in the feasibility report as a funding source for the project, will contribute to the streetlight replacement costs associated with replacing those streetlights in the business campus. That will fund $113,000 of the project costs. When we look at the proposed assessments, the front foot unit assessment rate has decreased slightly from the feasibility estimate. It was originally estimated at $52.16 per front foot. Based on the bid prices we received, the final front foot assessment rate will be $48.42. That's a decrease of 7.2%, and those property owners with frontage and driveway access leading onto Kensington Boulevard are proposed to be assessed as a part of the project. It is a 20-year assessment term based on the reclamation scope of work for this project. And moving forward, we would look to declare the costs at tonight's meeting and also set an assessment hearing date to discuss this project at the Council's June 1st meeting. Following the assessment hearing, we would propose the award of the construction contract and initiate construction in June of this year. Construction itself will not take from June to September, but based on the contractor selected and the timing of their work, they will be completing the work sometime between June and September of this year, with the understanding that there may be traffic detoured from the closure of the 50-60 intersection, and that they will need to complete this work with higher than expected traffic levels on Kensington Boulevard. And following construction, we would propose to certify the assessments to the county in December of this year. And with that, we'd ask you to consider a resolution calling for a public hearing on proposed assessments for City Improvement Project number 1504. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Item number 7 was approved by the Lakeville City Council. Next highlighted item on the agenda was item number 8, resolution calling a public hearing on proposed assessments for improvements to Hamburg Avenue. And once again, to provide the background information on this agenda item is Operation and Maintenance Engineer Monica Heil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Hamburg Avenue project, as you'll recall, spans that portion of Hamburg Avenue between Lakeville Boulevard and 220th Street. Similar to Kensington Boulevard, the project was initiated based on the city's pavement management program. We did hold a neighborhood meeting back in November of 2014 to discuss the proposed improvements with the affected property owners, and also some common construction questions such as access and schedules. Following that meeting, we got authorization from the City Council to complete the feasibility report back on December 1st. We presented that report to the Council on February 17th of this year, and also set a public hearing date for March 16th. At that meeting, the Council ordered the project. We completed the plans and specifications and opened bids for the project on April 24th following the Kensington Boulevard bid opening. With Hamburg Avenue, we are proposing to mill and overlay the existing pavement surface. With that, we will also be routing and sealing some of the existing cracks that lie beneath the top layer of pavement, and install a leveling course to address some of the wheel rutting areas along this particular section of Hamburg Avenue. In addition, we're proposing to rehabilitate some of these shoulder areas where a lot of truck traffic over the years has caused the edges to break up and some of the shouldering material to settle. So we will be addressing those areas as well as a part of the project. Driveway culverts that are either crushed or buried beneath large deposits of sediment will be replaced as a part of this project. We will be replacing them in kind and of similar size, but in some cases extending the culverts so that we don't have so many issues with trucks driving over the edges of them and inhibiting the flow through the pipes. We are currently working with Dakota County Soil and Water and the Vermilion River Watershed District to obtain a grant to complete some ditch improvements. That's going to be bid and completed as a separate project from the street improvements. Within the street improvement documents, we had some language in the contract that stated the contractor will not start work on the street until September of this year. That will allow us sufficient time to bid this project this summer, make the ditch improvements, and have all of that heavy equipment out of the area before we come in and resurface the street. The feasibility estimate for the project, not including the ditch improvements, but just the surface and storm sewer improvements, was $463,081. Based on the bid results we received, the project costs will be $442,506, which is a net reduction of 4.4%. The feasibility estimate had originally estimated $288,000 in property taxes would fund the project. That's been slightly reduced to $275,000. Street and storm sewer assessments have also been reduced from an estimated $175,000 to about $167,000. What that does to the front foot assessment rate is lower it from the initial estimate of $19.08 to $18.20 per front foot. This special assessment will be levied against those properties that have driveway access onto Hamburg Avenue. And because this is only a mill and overlay improvement project, it will be a 10-year assessment term for those property owners along Hamburg Avenue. Similar to the schedule for the Kensington Boulevard project, we're here tonight to declare the costs and set an assessment hearing date of June 1st. Following the assessment hearing on June 1st, we would ask the council to consider award of the construction contract, and then construction would commence in September or October of this year. Very short duration for construction, but something that will take a lot of coordination between property owners and the city to ensure that those businesses that do operate 24/7 will have access during construction and have all of their business needs satisfied. And following construction, we would certify the assessments to the county in December of this year. And with that, there's a resolution before you to consider a public hearing for the proposed assessments on City Improvement Project number 1505, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Item number 8 was approved by the Lakeville City Council. Well, those were the highlighted items presented to the Council at their May 4th, 2015 meeting. If you have any questions or comments regarding these agenda items, please feel free to call City Hall. The number is 952-985-4400. Thanks for watching this edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up.
When you buy local, your money stays local. Did you know funds from Lakeville Liquors were used to acquire the land for the Heritage Library? Liquor proceeds were used to pay off the bond for Fire Station 4, saving taxpayers close to $2 million. They also funded the replacement of the roof, parking lots, and HVAC system at the Arts Center. Currently, liquor proceeds are being used for the bond payments of the police station and other equipment used throughout the city. Lakeville Liquors, putting profits back into the community since 1934.